Innovation, creation, progress. A veritable golden age begins in Cascadia. New technology enters the homes of its residents. A heightened understanding of magic compels universities, and a deeper understanding of where Cascadians came from occupies the minds of scholars and historians alike. Looking from the surface, all seems well, but something stirs deep below. Welcome, everyone, to As Above, So Below, a D&D actual play podcast. We are the Fluffy Dice Network, and we are thrilled to have you along for our first podcast. I am Ty, the Dungeon Master, and joining me today are Cider.
Hello.
Scarlet.
Hello.
Proxy.
Howdy, y'all.
And Onyx.
What's up?
Today is the 30th of November, 2024, and this is episode and session 0. We will learn about the world and some of its essential factions and the players and their characters. We'll also talk about the podcast as a whole, but naturally, if you're not interested in this sort of thing, you're more than welcome to skip to episode 1. We are delighted to have you along regardless. So, how are we doing today, guys?
Doing pretty
New
alright.
D&D.
Yay! Fun time. Yeah, pretty happy to be playing
Waiting
D&D.
for this. I needed the itch.
Oh yeah, you and me both.
Needed
I
the
am...
fix.
Do what?
I just said needed the fix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I need my fix, man.
You know I'm good for it.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm glad to have you all here. That includes you too, listeners. I am super excited to be doing an actual play podcast. I do want to give some disclaimers though. This is our first time doing a podcast, and for a few of us, our first campaign. We are also an 18 plus podcast. If you're a kid or you listen to us with your kids, I strongly discourage you from showing us to them, but at the end of the day, it's still your call. We're also a bunch of furries, so there's that. With all that said, let's start from the top. What and where is Cascadia? Cascadia is an indefinite plain of air dotted with floating islands, with some over 1,000 miles in diameter. Many of these islands have a ring of water around a central landmass, all contained within stone walls. Natural stone walls, I should say. The advent of lighter-than-air travel has made international trade possible, and as such, populations have exploded. Cities and settlements have popped up on most islands, even if they wouldn't typically host life at the scale they do. The current technological level within Cascadia is somewhere between the Industrial Revolution and World War One. If we were doing an analog to today's age, but add a little bit of like a steampunk, arcane punk sheen over it. Picture it in your mind. You probably got the right idea. There are many significant islands, but the only one pertinent to today's session is the capital of the Arisalan government, Arisalo. Arisalo is the largest populated island of Cascadia and the current political capital. It is a temperate, calm-weathered isle with nearly no undeveloped land. However, it is very much solarpunk, with plenty of nature incorporated into the city. Moss walls, trees instead of poles, etc. The city's layout is unique compared to most, as it doesn't use land vehicles for anything but logistics. It is almost entirely walkable or flyable. The city's layout is unintentionally structured in bands, starting with a central tower, which is the port, followed by a band of residential, which can still grow vertically, and then business, and then industry. These are not hard and fast rules for growth, it is more or less just how it happened. The central building has a variety of cables connecting it to major arteries around the city. These are skyhooks. If you think ski lifts, you're in the right direction. At the tower's top are public gliders that people can use to fly about the city. Yes, they are safe, magically enhanced with permanent featherfall on the riders, some wonderful magitech there. There are no walls around the city, as no real threats are left outside anymore. Moving on to factions, the main faction of the campaign is the Arthica. The Arthica is the primary archaeologists guild. It contracts adventurers and archaeologists alike to clear, excavate, and explore ruins, chronicling their contents, purposes, and the like. They also keep the most extensive collection of magical and technological items in Cascadia, typically in museums dotted about the populated islands, making them a prime target for raids and heists if they weren't so secure. Now, let's learn a little bit about the players themselves. Who shall be my first victim? Cider, let's hear a little bit about you and our beautiful, beautiful barbarian Ragnar.
Sure. So Ragnar Stonehammer is a level 3 lizard folk barbarian. He is the Path of the Zealot for a subclass. The thought behind Ragnar was that he had heard through legend that there was a sword stuck in a stone, and he wanted to be the first one to remove this sword and become, a legend in his own, lizard folk village. And so Ragnar went to this stone where this sword was, and he attempted to pull it out but failed. So instead of giving up, what he did was he actually cracked the stone that the sword was stuck in, and now uses the whole thing as a giant warhammer.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. When Cider came to me with this idea, I don't think I stopped laughing for like 5 minutes. It was incredible. Very excited to see where this character goes. Onyx, how about you? Tell me about our beautiful, beautiful flower drake.
So, my character's name is Endro. He is a fighter with the Battle Mass subclass. His little brief backstory is that he is a runaway gladiator, who, after being sold off to the Colosseum, had lived most of his life there and had come to grow some bonds with people. However, after someone he was very fond of had unfortunately been killed off in their fight, he decided that it was enough and he was going to run away and pursue the dream that he and his lover had shared. And now he roams around and tries to make that dream become reality.
Super, super excited to see where that little tidbit goes. So, what am I trying to ask? You know what? Save it for another time. Proxy, tell me about our lovely, lovely deer.
I am Servoa, a servant of the ancient city Sevon. I am a. In addition to that, I am also a wizard of a spell sword variety, specifically a blade singer. Servoa is a old archaeologist, a wandering scholar, and a inquisitive mind for all that is archaeological, ancient, and otherwise long forgotten. He's always had his eyes on the guild, and he's beyond excited to start engaging on things in a more official capacity.
Excellent. Super excited to see where this goes as well. Got some really entertaining stuff planned for you, sir. last but not least, Scarlet, what's going on with Remy?
Remy is a artillerist artificer, former main merchant for the Arctica Guild. They have been trying.
Don't worry. Just say what's on the top of your head.
They've been having their eyes around the guild for a long time, especially with their father's work within the guild. They are now adventuring to try to live up to the legend of their father. That is pretty much all.
And they are a kobold, yes?
Yes, a kobold artillerist artificer.
Love it. Awesome. You guys have some incredible characters. I'm super excited to see what we do with them. As for you listeners, you get to move on to episode 1 at this point. Super excited to see you there, but we're going to take a quick break personally to get set up, and then we will begin. See you guys on the next episode. Super excited to get this going. We'll get a proper outro eventually. Like I said, this is our first time doing this, so pardon the awkwardness. We will figure it out as we go. Take care, and thank you for listening.